Welcome to the Duopreneurs Show. I'm JC Hyatt.
And I am Trey Goff.
And tonight we are talking about how life gets in the way of your duopreneur endeavors, your side hustle, your gift to the world. So last week, my daughter was unexpectedly admitted to the hospital, and I was at the hospital pretty much the entire week, and was there on, kind of running there on like 2 to 4 hours of sleep per night. And I also had no streaming gear with me. Could have possibly made something work in the middle of the night in the break room, and nobody would have showed up to watch, and Trey would have hated me for making him stream with me at 2 a.m.
Oh, you'd have been streaming alone.
Yeah. So between all these circumstances, we were like, yeah, we'll just pick it up next week. And I think that's kind of the thing we wanna tackle tonight.
Yeah, the one thing that we want to discuss with you guys this week is that there really is no update this week because we didn't make any progress last week, and that's okay. And it happens sometimes. The important thing to remember when you're trying to build anything at all is that it's not always going to go to plan. It's not always going to go how you want. There's always going to be some sort of black swan event that you could have never possibly foreseen that is going to completely stop progress in some meaningful way, that's going to keep you from hitting the goal that you wanted to hit or making progress that you wanted to make. And importantly, remember last week we talked about keeping up momentum? Well, it turns out the very week thereafter, we immediately lost momentum, and that's okay, and it happens. Now, what's important, though, is looking at with a completely self kind of critical and honest reflection, being frank with yourself. Like, all right, we lost momentum. We didn't make any progress last week. We didn't build anything. We didn't do any streams. We did not do any YouTube videos. We didn't make any progress on the base quote spot. And that's okay. So that means we'll have to push our timelines back another week or so. We lost a week of productivity. In the grand scheme of things, it is not the end of the world at all. And the important part I want to leave you guys with is kind of the takeaway here. The one thing is that, yes, keeping momentum up is important. But just as important as keeping up momentum is being able to take a loss of momentum because of a black swan event with grace, and to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and get back in it. Because the difficult part of this is that, and the reason you want to keep up momentum is because it's hard to start back. You don't want to. There's going to be a cognitive kind of resistance. There's an inertia that builds up. A body in motion stays in motion, right? That's why the momentum's important, but a body at rest also wants to stay at rest. And sometimes there's really no way around the David Goggins to Jocko Willink mindset of, all right, get back to work, get after it, pick yourself up, find the willpower to get back into it again. JC really is a great exemplar of that. So JC, I'll let you talk about this a little bit as well, and we can wrap up after that because we don't have much more to report.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a great exemplar. It's hard to get the momentum back. For whatever reason, like you're like, man, do I really want to do this? Like I've got or actually kind of to the original point of the show, like you have the ADHD brain is like, well, maybe I should just go work on that other thing now. Like, I was like, it's almost like, it's only been a week, but I feel like I should just go start something fresh. But I, especially after a long draining week with no sleep, it's like, and now I'm also like behind on my day job and all this stuff. I'm like, do I really, like, I have to muster the energy to do this. And I was going to last night and I just couldn't do it. And so here we are tonight. Trey's been extremely gracious in waiting around on me to muster up the willpower. So I don't really have any like tips for how to do it. You just have to do it. Like if you have your grand vision for kind of what you want out of life, and somehow you've determined that the thing you're working on the side is going to help you accomplish that vision, then like if you really want what you say you want, and you really believe that the thing you've chosen to work on is going to help you get there, then you just have to do it. And if you don't, then you don't deserve what you envisioned and what you want because you didn't work for it.
That's exactly right. I take a lot of solace in the classic cliche, which I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but is basically, if it were easy, everyone would do it. The difference between, the man or the woman who does something amazing with their life and leaves a dent in the universe and those who don't are when they lose momentum and when they lose that kind of forward progress, they just stop. They're like, oh, well, I tried, things got off track and I'm not going to do it anymore. The people that make it happen are the ones that pick themselves back up and get back at it again. So that's exactly what JC and I are going to do now. We did not make any progress last week, but we are definitely going to this week. And to that point and to that end, my kind of one ask for everybody this week would be please go follow us on Twitch. JC and I will leave the link to our Twitch in the in the description of this video, excuse me. And we will be streaming as often as we can, most nights of the week. We'll go back to our regularly scheduled Monday night at 8:30 or 9 p.m. as well, for sure, and then other nights of the week that we can pull off. And we'll get back to building. Thank you all so much for sticking with us on this journey, and we will have much more to report next week.